1, 2, 3.
The bigger picture. That is what you Hollywood stands for. I push myself every single day to make things. And beyond anything else.
And hello, folks, I am Tommy NC 2010, and welcome back to another awesome episode of Tommy Talks, live here from Western North Carolina. Not exactly at 9:30 p.m., but at 7:30 p.m., and we are blowing it up like a hurricane, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I have on none other than Mr. Roy Burns. And who is Mr. Roy Burns? He is a man that literally will put you in heaves and hives. And what I mean by that is the crew he works with is called the MERKINS. And what they do is they do parody songs. Mr. Burns, how are you doing there today?
Not too bad, man. How you doing?
Oh,
that was
I'm
a good
doing
intro.
Amazing, dude. I'm just astounded to have a gentleman like you here on the Tommy Talk Show, and it just means the world to me. And I'm just astounded to be here. And if you haven't got a chance, go check their channel out. It's in the description below. The Americans. I have to say it that way because I say American, but it's Americans. Sorry if the way I sound weird when I say that. So how was your day, by the way?
Not too bad, man. Lots of cleaning, lots of organizing the office, and writing and getting ready for the next parodies, man. How about you? A good day?
Oh, yeah, good day. Just been relaxing, just been chilling, just been doing what I can. So, okay, here's one of the first questions. What made you come on this show? What exactly brought you in my direction? Because there's not a lot of people that want to do interviews with me and stuff like that. I kind of don't get really responses a lot. So what drew you in my direction?
So obviously you've obviously worked your craft to get more amounts of subscribers than the normal person, so that always helps. But I don't think that's my main focus. I think my main focus is when you were persistent, you hit me up a few times, you were always super kind, checked your videos out, and the fact that you're trying to spread positivity, just like we do on our channel, anti-bullying, anybody with issues. We want to make sure that everybody keeps things positive, because what else is life for? And also that you really help out the autistic community, and things like that. That's huge for us. We like to do the same thing. One of our members that plays Freddy Part 4, like I said, his kid's autistic as well, and they go through their trials and tribulations. So we appreciate you, and like I said, I said yes to you first, man. No to a lot of interviews, but I'll do it for you, man.
That
I like
means
you.
the world to me. So let's get off into this interview here, and I am so excited, Mr. Burns. That your name, you said your name is in reference to the fake Jason from which Jason?
Part 5, yep.
Part 5.
Yep,
He plays.
yep.
He wants to get revenge because of his son. It was killed in the mental institution. Am I right?
Yep. Basically, he was avenging his son's death, but he decided to get the mask of Jason and make the parts blue instead, just to kind of either live on his legacy or kind of make him be blamed for the killings. I guess it's either way how you look at it. So
our first question here: what inspired you for you group of guys to start this YouTube channel?
So it's kind of weird. Like, there's not very many people in the Merkins. It's more of, basically it started out with myself, Matt, who plays Freddy Part 4, and Nate. We all used to make music and hang out together. And essentially, after work one day, Matt FaceTimed me, and I was like, "Hey, man, what are you wearing?" He's like, "Oh, I got this Freddy Krueger get up." I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing, man?" Like, and he lived in an apartment, didn't have like endless funds or anything like that. And I'm like, "Dude, that looks crazy realistic. Like, how much did that thing cost?" And he's like, "Oh, no big deal, man. Like $2,000." I'm like, "What? You're just gonna spend $2,000 to dress up as Freddy on Halloween?" But the thing is, like, he goes all out. He's a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan, and the thing is, it's very, I couldn't just let him have that costume. I was like, dude, we got to make a video. I was like, let me start a YouTube channel. Let's do Flick of the Wrist, because that song was really popular. Look at the flick of the wrist, look at it. And I was like, that's perfect, man. Let's do that for Freddy. Let's have you rap, because we both did music together. Made parody songs for fun. I was already filming videos at that point. So yeah, man. So it kind of was like, we did that. Nothing happened for a couple months. And then all of a sudden, boom, like World Star Hip Hop posted it. It went crazy. We did a follow up with a Freddy vs. Jason on a back-to-back Meek Mill Drake beef track, and kind of like that's where it started, man. So I don't know what the motivation was. The motivation for me is I love to create content. So always trying to gain that viral video has always been something I've kind of chased after. So
What is the hardest part of making these videos, in your opinion, is?
To be honest, I mean, I would say like just the workload. I mean, I don't even know if there's one hardest part, but like, I don't know if people understand the workload. Like, we've had one or two of our fans and supporters like come out to shoots, and they'll be there one day, and like, I don't think they understand the grind. Like, it's not, we have fun, but it's not really about having fun on the set. It's very like, hey, we've got our lighting guy, I'm filming it. We have actors, people are really hot wearing these costumes in the sun, and it's very like, it's more serious than it is like joking, So, you get the song done in the studio. I'm in there with Nate, who's a huge part of the Merkins, huge part. Couldn't do it without him. He runs the studio, records the vocals. But I mean, you got to think it's finding singers, finding the screen accurate outfits, finding the locations, building the props, the whole 9 yards. So I don't know if there's a part. I think there's just many moving parts, and it's just funny. We'll post a video, and in the comments section, it'll be, when's the next video dropping? It's like, well, damn it, enjoy this one. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, so.
Into that, what is a typical budget it goes into an Americans production? Exactly.
Yeah. I like the way you say it, man. We'll just have to start pronouncing it that way. Might as well. I mean, I would say an average budget for filming and everything. And again, this is without me getting paid, for putting it all together, or really Nate, like a little bit here and there. Like, people really help us out on Super Chat and Patreon. So that's kind of like,
I saw you guys have that.
Yeah, where we do it. But I mean, I would say an average video is $4,000, let's say, to produce it. Yeah, probably about $4,000, and like, that's like, paying for the location, paying the actors a day rate to be in it, covering the studio time so that Nate isn't like, going over top of people that he can make money on. And I think that's like the big thing. Like, we're working on, just to shout it out here, other than people that have been on our live streams, we're working on Sweet Dreams, Teen Dreams with Freddy, but a big one we're working on is the Slice Girls. We're doing a Spice Girls parody. Ooh. So we had to get 5 costumes. Like, I just bought 2 masks that were $1,800 for 2 masks. It was a Regan and a Tiffany from Bride of Chucky. So it's kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like you can get more use out of the mask, so it's really great. But for us, I feel like especially, I think my best production so far, as a visual wise, was the Leatherface Friends with No Faces video.
Oh, I love that song. I gotta tell you, I have that song on my favorite list, and when I'm working out at the gym, I just will be on the treadmill, and I was like, I have friends, and I wear their faces.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, the bad thing is people are like, what?
Yeah, like, what are you saying, man?
You
sound crazy. But yeah. But I mean, I got to shout out that video because honestly, that one should have costed a lot more than it did. But everybody, anybody that's listening in or ends up listening to this interview, like I got to shout out a couple people from that video. Vaughn Leakin from the Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse. Amazing dude, like one of the nicest people I've ever met. He helped us out. He owns the slaughterhouse, so we were able to use that beautiful background without having to create everything. David Monroe from Redneck Slasher Studios made both the Killing Mask and the Pretty Woman mask, and they are flawless. Best Texas Chainsaw Massacre mask you can possibly buy on the market. And then Aaron Lind from the Thirsty Cowboy in Medina. So we were able to get all these backdrops, and really that video, like Ryan from Sequential Image Productions did all the lighting, and that place is pitch black. So I mean, we had to light every single scene, and he completely killed it. But I think we did that thing for like $2,500, and that was the best looking production. But it's also because it had the most amazing set I've ever seen, man. Shout out to Vaughn. So I'm glad you like that one. That's definitely my favorite to date.
Now, I've noticed a particular thing of NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. What is the theme with these? I know you guys are basing like these killers. They're a boy band, but they are killers, and they're banding together to sing songs. Like, what is the theme of that exactly? Would you say?
Yeah, I mean, so for me, to be honest with you, like I'm a horror fan. I like horror movies,
yes, I am.
and things like that. But sometimes, like, I get depressed, man. Like just because sometimes when I'm watching horror movies, it's like these things are happening in real life, and I'm more of a revenge person. Like if they've been bullied and then they start killing, it's like, I like that a lot more than just like serial killers or something like that. Just because it's like it can put you in a dark place. So for me, making these videos, it puts nostalgia, music, and horror, but it brings it more into a positive light. So people that like horror, the most exciting thing is like somebody's mom or someone's dad that, for example, listens to, the Police or the Backstreet Boys or whatever it may be, whatever nostalgic cover song we're doing. Like, my dad, hates these horror movies, but my mom loves the Backstreet Boys, so we watch them together. You know what I mean? It's like almost bringing two generations together, or like someone loves old school horror movies and their wife loves the Backstreet Boys, and then they both have something to combine with the Slash Street Boys or something of that nature. So I think that's what's cool for me, is like flipping a positive, funny spin while still keeping it like horror and scary. But, people constantly say more gore, but I'm more about having as big of an audience as I can with it, like to keep it positive, not too many swear words, PG-13 as far as the gore goes. That's what I enjoy about doing them, and that's kind of the vibe that I think that they have and bring to the table.
I have an idea for you, and it just popped into my head. What do you think about this? A theme for Freddy. The dream killer, he's inside of my head. The dream killer, killer, the dream killer, he's inside of my head. The dream killer, killer, and I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. The dream killer, he's inside of my head.
Get it. Perfect, man. That's a hit, dude. We're going to get you on the mic. A little bit of pitch shift down on that, man. That's a hit. That's a hit. Tommy, you heard it here first.
The dream killer, he's inside of my head. The dream killer, tonight, The dream killer, he's inside of my head. I'm hunting all the kids down because they set me on fire. And I'm looking around because I'm the dream killer. I'm going into your kids' heads tonight. Ha ha!
Dude, that's perfection, man. I absolutely love it, man. You're on the team, dude. You're in 100%.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Love it, dude. I've been having to work on the Freddy voice lately. I've been trying to coach one of the newest guys in the Merkins. He's Freddy Part 2, Matt Campy, and I've been just sitting all day, kind of messing with the voice. He and I have been going back and forth in the studio, but we definitely got a good vibe on the Teen Dreams going so far. Maybe before we hop off, I can play a little snippet so your people can hear it and kind of understand what's going on, if that's cool with you, later on. But yeah, man, I dig it.
As long as it's not monetizable, because sometimes YouTube will flag stuff because it's monetizable, or you could play a few seconds of it. I'm not trying to be negative,
No. We don't even worry about it then, man. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that even the instrumental remake that we have, it still picks it up as Sweet Dreams. So you don't want to do that because it'll demonetize it for sure. So
Sweet Dreams, Killers of Me.
Yeah, it's Teen Dreams Are Made of Screams.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Yep.
I cannot wait to see
Oh yeah, dude.
this new song. And hopefully in the future, maybe we might be able to do a collaboration. Maybe the song for the Americans, the Dream Killer is inside of my head. Maybe, possibly.
Sounds good to me, man. We'll make something work, dude. I'm sure we can find time to do something.
Yeah, man, that's definitely epic. So let me think here of another question I can ask you. Have you ever? How many takes do you guys have to do between taking off these masks? Because I know you have to get over. Some of your actors probably have to get overheated. How many takes do you guys take for a normal video?
I mean, everybody's different, man. I mean, if we're shooting usually if we're shooting 1 minute of footage, we'll shoot for an 8 or 10 hour day. Mm-hmm. If a video is 4 minutes long, you figure it's going to be 4 days of 8 hour shoots. It depends on what it is. Ghostface Hotline Scream. That one was all on a green screen in my garage. So that one wasn't too much shooting because again, you're not on location. But to be honest, man, most of the guys take their masks off, every maybe 5 or 6 takes, depending on how hot it is. But Matt Helmick, who plays, who started it with me from day one with Nate, he is a diehard dude. Once he gets in the character and puts that thing on, he doesn't take it off, man. I mean, we were at that Slash Street Boys shoot for As Long as You're Bloody, and I don't think he ever took the mask off the entire day in the sun.
Wow.
So I mean, dude, he's pretty hardcore about it, but I can respect him for that, man. He's good at his craft and he's really nailed the voice. We brought in the second Freddy just because Matt's not really a singer, so new Matt Campy is doing the singing songs with Freddy with a different mask. So it's kind of cool, man. It's just double downing on the content and bringing some more stuff to our loyal and fans that we appreciate more than anything.
Understand. Now, my question is, you have all these killers, these legendary horror killers. Where is Pennywise in the mix, and how come you guys haven't used his character at all?
So I did buy a Pennywise silicone mask that is super nice. It's ready to roll. The only thing we have done with Pennywise so far, we did the Napoleon Dynamite dance remake, which is pretty good, but that was something small just to test out the mask. But Pennywise we were holding out for because again, I'm giving a lot of I'm giving a lot of shit away here, but that's okay.
And here's the thing. I
'Cause
don't want you to give any stuff out if you don't
oh,
want to
you're
give it
oh,
out.
you're okay, Tommy. I'll give it out. It's no big deal, man. I'd rather do it now before someone else does it. But we're doing an NSYNC parody group that's going to headline our Halloween for this year. So we're gonna lay back on Slash Street Boys a little bit, do a simpler song, simpler video for Slash Street Boys, and then we're gonna be trying to hit a home run with NSYNC's Die Die Die. And
Oh my God.
and Hannibal Lecter will be the Justin Timberlake of the group, but it'll be followed with Pennywise and a few other characters. Won't give them all away. But then we'll have a new boy band. So Die 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 should be pretty awesome, pretty big. That's going to be an undertaking with doing the remake of the puppets and all that type of stuff. So that'll be a lot of work, but I think it'll be worth it. And that way, when we're done with the first NSYNC song, we can have Hannibal Lecter do "Fry Me a Liver" instead of "Cry Me a River."
Oh my.
So it'll be a great JT hit.
Wow, dude, I gotta tell you, like, everything that you guys are doing are just, it's so awesome. It's so creative, and I gotta say, you guys carry yourself, like, looking at your production value, I would say you guys are not just some regular YouTube channel. You're like a main company YouTube channel, like it has a big budget behind you. But you guys are awesome. Like, I think that's why one of the reasons I started watching your videos was because of the production value and just the stuff you guys bring to the show and everything. And just want to tell you that.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I've definitely spent quite a bit of money, man, on these videos, but I think it'll pay off, man. And in due time, like I said, I believe in good karma, and I think that stuff will come back around if you put the work and the time into something that you care about, and making money off YouTube and doing videos that you love would be a dream for sure.
So I'm happy to hear, like, all the stuff you guys are doing. Like, it really blows my mind on all the stuff you guys are working on, and I even appreciate that you even say at some point I can come on and work with you guys. Like, that means a lot to me, because not a lot of people really call me or message me and say, hey, Tommy, you want to do a collaboration with me? I've just been doing this since 2010, and it's I collab with who I can, and it just means a lot, dude.
Hey, man, like I said, no problem, man. I appreciate the way you came at me and the stuff that you're backing. So it was an easy decision, man. No worries at all.
All right. I think here. Is there any questions you'd like to ask me? Any open-ended questions you'd like to ask me, or or anything?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, trying to think of a line of conversation. I mean, how did you come about starting your YouTube channel?
I started my YouTube channel back around 2010. I was just making random videos that I just would upload day to day. And then around Thanksgiving, I accidentally deleted all my videos, and then I restarted my channel and was inspired by Doug Walker, Cool Duder, and Chris Perillo. Those people are the main people that really inspired me to be who I am today. And my main goal was, I'm high functioning autistic, so but it doesn't define me. But the thing is that my main goal was I wanted to inspire children and people to pick up a camera and say, hey, you have a voice, make videos, I believe in you.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, it makes sense. Plus, you got a killer stash, dude. You can't ever get rid of that bad boy.
Tell that to every single person that says, one, I should shave the stash off, and also some people rudely will say to me, you look like a pedophile. Like, I'm like, no, I do not.
The stash is iconic, man. If you cut that off, man, it's like cutting off a limb, man. You gotta let it roll, man. Because honestly, man, the stash is that's like you want to click on it so much more, man, because you got to respect a good mustache, man, and a guy that's got enough confidence to grow one.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, and that means so much to me. I I just, I try to keep it as groomed as possible and just keep it up to date, and just I try to carry that idea of positivity. And I'm not positive all the time, I'll say that, but I try to keep a feeling of positivity and entertainment and a value to inspire people.
Hell yeah, man. That's what it's all about, dude. There's there's way too much negativity in the world to be any other way, to be honest, man. Like there's people that can be, super down in the dumps all the time, and for whatever reason they want to take it out on other people. And I've always been the guy ever since high school, and playing sports, and even though I had a lot of people that I felt liked me or were on my side, I was all about trying to befriend everybody, and I'll keep that going till the day I die, man, because there's really no other way, man. The people that are putting other people down are just making up for something that they're sad about on the inside, I guess.
Understand. Now, here's a question for you. What is your all-time favorite horror movie?
I mean, that's pretty tough. That's a pretty tough call. I'm like more of like a childhood nostalgic movie fan. It's easier for me to name like an all-time favorite childhood movie, but if I had to name an all-time favorite horror movie, I would probably say hold on, I'm thinking. I don't want to look back and go, what was I talking about?
No problem, dude.
I mean, damn, that's such a hard question, man. Roll back to it in a minute. Let me think about it, because that like favorite of all time is too hard. I should have like figured that was going to be a question and known, but I don't want to take it back after 5 minutes. So I'll answer. Just swing back around to it,
Okay.
and I'll answer it.
Let me think here. Trying to think of another question.
I'll answer it. I'm just going with my gut. I would say 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I just like that movie a ton, man. So I'll stick with that. It was kind of that between Halloween, but I'll say Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Wow, that's and of course you guys. That Leatherface is a big part of Slash Street Boys, and I gotta say one thing I loved about the first song, the song you guys put out for Slash Street Boys, "Kill You Right." That was the one where they're in the woods?
Yeah, so I'll Kill You That Way was number 2, and the first one was Slashing Bodies, so that was like everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Now, who do you guys find to sing these songs? Because you like, for instance, I Wear Their Faces. Like he sounds, I would swear that he sounds like a Garth Brooks sound-alike. I swear, like, because it blows my mind. I listen to Garth Brooks and I hear his voice, and I go back and I listen to Wear Your Faces, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like they went and hired Garth Brooks to sing this song.
Yeah, so it's weird, man. Sometimes I will get like singers that are in cover bands of that artist, or like try to go online and find people that really sound like them. But I've come to the realization that it's tougher to find someone to go to a studio, because a lot of these songs, it's like Nate and I being in the studio producing them. Like that's what ends up making them better, because I feel like we're willing to put in the time to where other people aren't, or they don't hear it. They don't hear the mistakes. So believe it or not, I love Ty. So Ty Prager is the one that's done the voice the entire time for Leatherface. He also did the newest Leatherface song. And dude, it's a lot of tweaking.
I loved it, by the way. I thought it was awesome.
Thanks, man.
Like you were dying.
Yeah, it was an easier one to kind of do in the wintertime, because the original video had a white backdrop, so it wasn't the most exciting thing to look at, but I think it was a cool, quick, easy one to do, something that didn't break the bank. But believe it or not, like Ty has a great voice, like just singing on his own, but it's definitely much different. Like, so when we record his voice, and shout out to Nate, because the guy's a wizard. Love you, Nate. When you listen to this, man, Nate Vale, follow his music, A Band Named Ashes. So Nate is the producer, and he's the second half of the Merkins with me. And he actually is the voice of Jason. So he sings as Jason. He also did the Night King and some other songs for us. He's very versatile. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. That was a guy. That was a dude in a White Stripes cover band from the UK. But the other Night King video, Aria, I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight, that was Nate, and also all the Jason songs. So with Nate, it's very easy because he can do the stuff on his own. We tweak it a little bit. Now, someone like Ty. Ty's so easy to work with, and he's okay with being, a little bit malleable in the studio, and listens to what I have to say. I feel like I've had a track record of making pretty good songs at this point, not in a big-headed or conceited way, but that gets him to kind of listen to my input in the studio. So we actually take the song instrumental on that Garth Brooks, just for example, since you know that one and you're very familiar. We took that song and we pitched it up, I think like 25%, while we were recording. So Ty would actually sing higher than the original song, and then we would pitch Ty's voice back down to the original instrumental, and that's how he gets that deep country voice. So his voice is actually pitch shifted like Freddie, if that makes sense. Not as much, but that's what gives it that deep, raw, big, hunky Texas Chainsaw Massacre voice vibe. So it's kind of crazy as much work. I mean, there's times where we take Ty's voice and we will be like copying and pasting like note for note to almost build the song on an audio program. It's not just like someone walks in and they sing and it's done. We really try to craft these things. And sometimes people complain that you can hear some auto-tune, but it's like, well, we're not hiring studio musicians here for $400 an hour. So, it is what it is. You're going to have that sometimes.
And I can't tell, dude. Honest to God, when I listen to Leatherface, Where Your Face Is, or I listen to Slash Street Boys, or any of the popular songs on your channel, I can't tell auto-tune. I just think, wow, this guy sounds like Garth Brooks. And like,
appreciate it. Yeah.
That one
came out well, man. That one was like definitely still my favorite, and yeah, I think he really did come out sounding really good. And again, Ty's a phenomenal musician and has a great voice. It's just crazy like what we do to get his voice to that Leatherface vibe. But again, it's like really worthwhile because somebody like Ty that connects with the fans, can play guitar really well live, can sing the songs live, can spice them up. It's like so much better. I mean, you get like a country guy from Nashville charged you $300, will do it amazing, but the guy's got no personality. He doesn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So like it's almost about the personality and the voice. It's very it's different. And Ty has now started acting as Leatherface for the last video. Paul Schultz, shout out Taco Truck TV, super talented guys at Taco Truck, Jake Barkus and Paul Schultz. Love those guys. We've collaborated on the Slash Street Boys. And to give a quick shout out to them, not to go on a rant, but how the Slash Street Boys came about. So I was already doing the horror videos, and I had started talking to Jake, and like we just basically, if Jake's working on a project, I might film it. We did a Grinch recap video that I filmed that went viral, and like we just bounce ideas off each other. So one day, like Jake had hit me up and he's like, "Hey man, you should do a horror cipher with all like the horror characters, like do rap." And I'm like, I was like, I don't know, man. Like it's already been done a bunch of times, which I'm not saying it was a bad idea. I feel like it's a surefire viral video, but because BET had done a cipher, World Star had done a bunch of them, I was like, hey, what about New Killers on the Block? I'm like, dude, let's do a boy band with them. And sorry, my dog. And he was like, yeah, dude, that's amazing, man. Or like the Backstreet, like the Slash Street Boys. I'm like, yeah, exactly, dude. I'm like, if we have these guys as, it's good because people like I think why parodies work a lot of times is when something is unexpected, because the Slash Street Boys is never going to be as big as I'll Kill You That Way, because that was like when everyone first found out about it. So like the shock value is over now. But if you can find that shock value within parodies, that's the biggest thing, because like seeing horror characters in a complete opposite element singing with angelic voices, even though they don't talk, like really works. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah,
it
I
was
get what
one of
you're
those
saying.
things where I was glad I was bouncing ideas off him, because I probably would have been out here doing new killers on the block, which I'm sure I wouldn't have. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Jake gave me that name, which it's not insanely difficult to come up with Slash Street out of Back Street. But again, man, props to him for changing my mind on the new killers on the block for sure.
I understand, man. Well, I say before we end the show here, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. If there's anything you want to plug before we end the show here, you're welcome to.
Yeah, man, I don't like I said, I think I shouted out everybody pretty important. Like obviously, I couldn't do this stuff without the guys that act, that I find, and the people that put the effort in. But also to Nate Vale that busts his ass. I'm really going to be promoting his music here soon, that he's going to be doing. But there's really nothing to plug on that tip now, man. But other than that, I appreciate you having me on here and sharing some of the story. And one of these days, who knows? Maybe you'll be singing on some ridiculous Merkins parody song. So who knows?
Thank you, man.
But yeah, no worries, man. I appreciate you.
All right, just a second here. So, folks, as always, I'm Tommy NC 2010. This has been another awesome episode of the Tommy Talk Show. And right now, I'm telling you, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you right now to click on the link below in the description below and click and go to the Americans. The Americans. Frig yeah!
America, fuck yeah.
Oh, my God.
Every time you say it, that's what it reminds me of. Sorry, I don't know if I could say the F word on your without you getting demonetized, but you might have to bleep it out.
I don't bleep anything when it's live like this.
You just got me amped up to shout out a Team America World Police there, man. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
We're coming to save the motherfucking day, yeah.
Mother freaking day, I guess.
Yeah, mother freaking day. I'm sorry, I dropped one more F-bomb. All right, I'm done. I'll let you do your thing.
But thank you so much, folks, and remember to subscribe to them. Check out their Patreon. Check out their Instagram. Check out their Twitters. And just fill yourself up and sit back and enjoy their YouTube channel. You'll get a laugh. I guarantee you that you'll end up singing to some of these songs because it's demented. Yes, some of the songs are demented, but they are funny at the same time. But, if you want to, go subscribe to their channel. As always, I'm Tommy NC 2010, and I'm keeping you on the inside fact. Subscribe, support, stay positive. Catch you later, folks.